Okay, we're having a baby. Let's go, let's go. Oh God! I love you so much. You could do this. I'm like this on the couch.
No. Yes.
Hey, welcome back to our channel. I'm Ian, this is Liesl. Subscribe right now. Go ahead and pause the video. Click subscribe. Hit the bell. Share with your friends. You don't even have to watch it. Just share it right now.
Share it.
All right? No, if it's your first time, do those things. If you're back for more.
And you haven't subscribed, what are you doing with your life?
That's true too, but if you have subscribed, thank you. And also thanks for all the comments and the love and yeah, all the good interaction we've been getting, so we appreciate it.
We do.
Thank you guys.
We thought it might be fun to talk about our birth story.
Story time.
Because we had quite the eventful birth.
And we have some video footage too, so we'll talk about it. I'll insert some footage like from the hospital and some stuff, so it'll be fun.
It was fun. The pregnancy was very easy. I was never sick. I would get a little nauseous if it had been a while since I'd eaten, but other than
Since I had eaten.
Since I had eaten.
Since I eaten.
No, since I'd eaten. Anyway, I would get a little nauseous if it had been a little bit since I had eaten.
That's better.
But other than that, like, I was good. I was tired pretty much the whole time, but other than that, I can't complain considering I never threw up until the third trimester. So I feel like around like week 24 to even like up to like week 30, 31, 32, my belly was like significantly growing to the point where I was like, I don't think there's any more room. Obviously, like your stomach and uterus make room for the baby. But I was just, I mean, I'm a short person, so I was just like, there's no more room. And then I think around like week 32, I noticed like it wasn't really growing as much. And I was just like, all right, well, whatever, you know, like maybe he's making his way to the back. And then I think it was at 34 weeks and 5 days, we went in and they did our third trimester ultrasound just to make sure like we're still good. He was still head down. And I'm laying there in like the big ultrasound room and like the ultrasound tech is taking all the measurements and I can see on like the bottom of the screen like what the measurements are. And he should be measuring around like 33, 34 weeks, which would be average. I think anywhere between like 33 and 35 would be average measurements. And almost every single measurement was behind by at least 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking at the screen and seeing 28, 27. Every once in a while I'd see a 30, 28, 27. I'm just kind of like, okay. We finished in the ultrasound room. From there you go into your little exam room. Yeah. And she comes in and basically tells us that I am no longer measuring on track and that they don't really know what's going on, but that when this happens, they just attribute it to a placental issue, but there's nothing that they can really do until you deliver it and you deliver the placenta to say, okay, so it was this. Like, they're not gonna go in there and test anything just because, I don't know why. They just can't figure it out at that point. Yeah. So at that point, it's either grow the baby as big as possible, or if it's super dire, to get the baby out so that way you can start feeding real food because apparently he wasn't getting enough nutrients from my placenta. So just to make sure he was okay, we went to get monitored for what we thought was 45 minutes in a different room, which turned into 2 hours in that room, which she didn't like what she was seeing, so we had to go to the hospital for what we thought was going to be 2 more hours. Turned into 3 days. And
you couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom or shower or any. Well, you could get up to go to the bathroom only.
But I couldn't shower.
She was like strapped in to this like machine that was measuring the baby's heartbeat and some other things and.
An NST, which is a non-stress test, but I was very stressed the whole time.
We were all stressed. We were like, what the heck is happening here? We had to stay at the hospital for 3 days.
Like the nurse was like, I don't think you'll deliver because we don't like to deliver before 35 weeks. And I'm like, well, I'm 1 day shy of 35 weeks. Yeah. And then the next day it was like, we still don't think you'll deliver today. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. Good. What if I fall asleep?
What are we doing here?
Stress this.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's measuring a little. So they're just making sure he's good. I mean, based on his activity, like 100% sure he's good.
He's got a good heart rate.
We're fine. We're chilling. Yeah. He is not chilling. We're chilling.
So we were at the hospital. We eventually left the hospital. Didn't deliver.
Got 2 shots in my butt.
Got a couple shots, you know.
And then from there on out, I had to go to the doctor's office twice a week.
Twice a week.
So the next week, got sent back to the hospital again, but this time got released after 2 hours.
Yep.
We were still good.
Yep.
We were, 36 weeks at that point. The goal from there was just to get to 37 weeks to see. So, but every appointment we were like, this could be the time.
This could be it. And also the last couple of appointments, or the last appointment we went to, you were having massive contractions. Yeah. And you had been all week.
That Monday before our 38-week appointment, I started having massive contractions that lasted, I would say, 4 hours.
We thought we were going into labor.
Yeah.
Like every night that week.
Like was in the bath, went downstairs to the pool, was walking around, and my doctor was like, well, can you sleep through it? And so I said, I guess so, and then they stopped. And
they weren't the right, what am I trying to say?
They were at 3 to 4 minutes, and then they kind of went from 5 to 6, and then it was like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. They didn't
stay in the range they were supposed to stay at. So
yeah, but then the next morning at my appointment, they were like, pretty consistent. Even the nurse tech was like,
I think you're gonna go to the hospital. Yeah.
Didn't get sent. She's like, I think he's just comfortable in there. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Long story short, we went to the doctor all the time, twice a week, like we said.
Yeah.
And every single time, contractions, NST tests, almost every single time to the hospital, out of the hospital. Finally, our very last appointment before we delivered.
She sent us home.
She still sent us home.
And we were like, what? I'm 4.5 centimeters dilated. What do you mean you're sending me home? And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll see you this weekend. And then on our way we were going to go get the Habit because we were both like, we're just stressed, hungry, whatever. She called and she's like, you know what? After going through your results with the specialist, we're going to go ahead and admit you. And we were just like, how am I supposed to eat? We thought we should have one last meal before we had to have bad hospital food.
Yep.
Which wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't too bad. So we went to the hospital to get induced. And here, let's break to some footage. This was our hospital room when we first got there. They gave us a bigger room too, a bigger delivery room than the standard one. We didn't get the Beyonce treatment at the top floor. Like
we delivered at Cedars in case anyone wants to know, which I highly, highly recommend. Yeah. If you have a choice. Yeah. The cookies.
The cookies were bomb. Okay, so anyways, here's us in the hospital room. Here's that. Ooh, get it. Get it. Water break. Gosh. So here's our delivery room.
Here's where the magic happens.
That's where all the magic goes down.
And then here's where the magic gets to be.
Incubator warmer right there. Bathroom. Let me show you the bathroom. Give you a nice tour. Oh snap, that's the toilet.
It's a nice shower.
What are all these controls?
For the shower, maybe? Oh, because I gotta...
Oh, gotcha. It's like a bidet, sort of, for your area. Now we're just waiting for Liesl to get her water broken, and then they're gonna see, if the contractions come, and we're gonna have our son. So it's extremely exciting. This is crazy. How nice was everybody too?
Very nice. Cedars.
Yeah, they were awesome.
So my doctor wasn't off work yet. I think she got off around 5, maybe 6.
We were there like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but the midwife on duty came in and she said, okay, so we're going to break your water. You're not going to feel anything. You might just feel some pressure, but it shouldn't hurt. It hurt. She may or may not have stabbed my wall. So
yeah, I've heard it hurts. Yeah, I don't know.
Basically, they take a crochet hook and they're supposed to go in there and like hook the sack. Right?
Don't say sack. Don't say crochet hook and sack in the same sentence.
Oh God! That's what it is. But instead, she went in, I guess, at an angle and stabbed my wall. Yeah. Which hurt. And then she's like, well, the baby's in distress. I'm like, yeah, because you stabbed his mom.
Come out swinging.
But at this point, we didn't think we were going to need Pitocin. And she's like, well, I could start Pitocin. And we were both like, no.
No, you won't start Pitocin.
Not without my doctor.
Well, and I just want to mention one other thing for encouragement for any first-time, young parents. We had a nurse in there when we first got there that was very disrespectful, really condescending, made Liesl cry. It was a very unpleasant experience. Yeah. Luckily, we got there at the end of her shift. Yeah. She switched pretty much right away. And I went out to the hall and I told the new nurse, I said, hey, that nurse that was in here before, don't ever let her step foot in this room again. I don't know if she's on schedule to come back in the morning, but you send her to another room, do not let her come back in here. She was rude, disrespectful. She made my wife cry, and I don't want to see her ever again. So you're allowed to do that, by the way.
You have control over your birth experience. Don't let anyone tell you or make you do anything that you don't want to do.
Correct.
Obviously, like, consult with your doctor. If they're making you feel a certain way over something that's not needed, like, you don't need them in your life, in your room.
I mean, there's a nice way to say. I was very nice. I wasn't mean to the lady, but I just told her, like, hey, not happening anymore. So
she's not welcome here.
She's not welcome in here. So you could do that. Anyway, how many hours were we in labor for?
20.
20 hours of labor. It's funny. We started off like, yeah, labor, woo.
And then we started off at, I think, we got the Pitocin around 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4.
Eventually we got my doctor on the phone, and she recommended, since they couldn't break my water, she recommended that I started Pitocin. And so I was kind of like, okay, since you recommended it, I will do this. We just heard that Pitocin makes your contractions that much worse, and I wanted to try to go as long without an epidural as possible. So I wasn't into getting Pitocin and making everything that much harder. At the end of the day, it was fine.
Yeah.
It did hurt a lot. I don't have anything to compare it to. Well, I did have labor contractions earlier in the week, so they were worse. I will say that. My mom was trying to rub out my back. He was trying to rub out my back. And then at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, this is it. Yeah, so I got what was called the walking epidural, which you can't legally get up and walk, but they just call it that so you can, because you can still kind of feel, you can feel your legs, you can feel everything. It just takes the edge off of your contractions. And that was at 6.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
I labored for about 2.5 hours before I wanted the walking epidural, and the anesthesiologist, the nurses were like, are you sure you want this? And I said, yes. I was very adamant that that's what I wanted. And they're like, you know you can still feel everything. And I said, yes, I still want to feel everything. Enter 2 a.m. I did not want to feel everything at 2 a.m. Every, third contraction was unbearable. I don't want to say unbearable and say, oh, I just couldn't take it anymore, because there are lots of women that have a natural childbirth, and obviously you can get through it. At that point, I had been in labor for a week. We had been through all the emotions for weeks, and I just was tired. We were both tired.
Yeah.
And so at that point I decided, you know what? Every contraction is only going to get worse from here. I think I want the full, which they were trying to tell me, okay, you know, you're probably going to want the full. And I thought, no, I don't want it. And then as soon as I got it, I was just like, this is why. This is why they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And so I got the full. We were able to sleep a little bit.
The room was freezing cold. It was probably in the 50s. I looked at the thermostat. The nurses are walking in and out, so they're running from room to room. They're comfortable. We're freezing. I was freezing. She was freezing.
They kept trying to tell me that it was because of the epidural, that sometimes it makes you cold and gives you the shakes. And I was just thinking, that might be the case for me, but he's cold.
Yeah, as soon as I was like, I'm freezing. They're like, you're cold? I was like, yes, I'm freezing cold. They're like, oh, okay.
So around 6 a.m., I was at 9 centimeters, and so we were thinking, great, let's call up our families and tell them to come back, because they all left around midnight. Yeah. 1, 2. My sister, I think, slept in the car in the parking lot. My mom was still in the waiting room, but you called family to come back.
About 6 o'clock, yeah. So we're like, we're about to push soon. But anyways, that didn't quite happen. We were just kind of hanging in the room, and Liesl was all drugged up. Have a look. Okay, we're coming up on 20 hours. 20 hours of labor, but we're hanging in there. How you doing, baby?
I look like I'm on drugs.
Because you are. See what I'm saying? Look at your own eyes. Well, we're getting there. We're close, right? It's gonna happen soon. We have not slept at all, really. All night and day. What time is it? 10:30. Yep.
Feeling it.
You're feeling it?
Feeling the lack of sleep.
Yeah. Me too. Getting close to pushing. We just need that 0.5 centimeter. And the doctor. And then Jen. And then we're ready to push.
I'm ready to push.
Are you ready? You're gonna do great.
Okay.
You're gonna do great. I love you.
I love you. So I think it was around 10 a.m. I'm still at 9.5, and That's literally as far as I got. But at noon, my doctor shows up. She's like, okay, so what's up? Finds out that I'm still only at 9.5 centimeters. And she's like, well, I heard you're a good pusher, so let's just do a practice push. And so I just pushed with all my might. Everything went out the window. All the pushing techniques, I was just like, let's just get this baby out. And so I push.
She's pushing so she's doing a practice push. I'm there. I don't mean to look, because generally I can't do like bloody stuff and I'll pass out. But I looked on accident. But
Don't
I looked.
look.
and I see a head right there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the doctor was like, oh, we have a head. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're having a baby. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody, come on, get in here. Let's go.
The room was a little understaffed at that moment.
They turn on the spotlights. Spotlights right on her area. We didn't have enough nurses or anything. We have 3 minutes between contractions before you got to push again.
And I don't think anyone was thinking I was going to have him right then. I think
think
everyone
so.
was still like, okay, she's probably going to have a C-section.
Yeah, so everybody comes in.
He's got one leg, another nurse has another leg.
So her head is here, the doctor's over here. So I'm holding her, I have one leg, and I'm holding her hand, and I'm looking at her dead in the eyes like, I love you so much. You could do this. And pushing. The baby starts coming out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the most miraculous thing I've ever seen. And it was incredible.
And
then I lose my hearing. Okay. You ever seen a movie when somebody, like, there's an explosion and they can't hear? I'm passing out. I'm straight up passing out. And so I'm like, oh crap. I can't hear, but I can still see. You know, she's just like in so much pain. I think that's what got to me, was like the blood, the pain that she was in, the agony. I'm feeling that, and so I'm starting to pass. I can't hear a thing. But I can still see. And then all of a sudden, I can't see anything. So I can't see, I can't hear. I'm barely standing. I'm holding her hand, I'm holding her leg like this, and I'm like, guys, I'm passing out. I'm so sorry. I'm passing out. I'm passing out. I'm sorry. I'm passing out. There's a couch right behind us. So here's the delivery bed, and then right behind it is a couch right here. So they're like calling in another nurse to come take my place. You know, she's got dead legs because she has an epidural. So she's trying to hold up her own leg and push at the same time.
But we can only wait so long in between. I mean, there's no time to wait in between contractions. So once you're pushing, you just gotta keep pushing.
So they're like, sit down, sit down. I'm like, no, I'm fine. They're like, sit down. So I sit down. They're like, lay down, put your feet up now. And I was like,
I'm just like, please just do what they're
like,
telling
no,
you to do.
I'm good. They're like, lay down, put your feet up. And so I'm like this on the couch.
With his feet up.
With my feet up while Liesel's delivering.
I'm just thinking,
so
ridiculous. I'm like, do whatever you need to do so you don't end up like passing out and hitting your head and needing stitches on like the other side of the hospital.
So anyway, I laid down there for like 30 seconds. I'm just chilling while she's having a baby.
Trying to hold my leg up with my dead weight.
And then eventually I'm like, you know what? I can't miss this. So I just get up. Whew, I go back over because at this point I got my sight back. I still couldn't hear much. One more push. Here comes Zachariah. He comes out. He was like, ah. He comes out, and it was just like instant, like I was back.
Yeah.
My hearing, my sight, everything, and it was just like
the craziest
moment. They put him on, you know, on Liesel's chest for some skin to skin, and he's already lifted his head up. He's like, ah! He's looking back and forth, and they're like, wow, strong neck.
Yeah, he's a strong boy. Back then, still now. It's funny, like, right before, I think the last two pushes, my doctor was like, oh, he's got a lot of hair. Do you want to feel it? I'm like, no. Yes. But I was it's just such an out-of-body experience that until you've gone through it, there isn't really, like, a way to describe it.
Yeah.
Lighting change.
We're having, the sun's going down, and we've got lines. Sorry. I got to cut the cord.
Yeah. We wanted to record the birth, but it all just happened so fast. He was out in under 10 minutes from practice push to
delivery.
Yeah, so it was just, and then the whole passing out situation. I didn't even get to put my push playlist on.
Oh, yeah, she had a push playlist of all her
I had
favorite
a labor
songs.
playlist and a push playlist. There was no time for the push playlist. I thought like, okay, this is the song I want him to be birthed into the world to.
Yeah.
If that says anything about my personality.
It was Push It.
No, it wasn't.
Push It.
But that was on my push playlist.
Push It real good.
I think it was probably like a Guns N' Roses song. I don't know. We did, what was it, 2 hours? We got 2 hours in the recovery room.
Yeah.
Not the recovery, in the delivery room.
Delivery room before they moved us to the
recovery room. And then family got to meet him. And
I mean, you would sleep every time you breastfed him.
I would
You would
fall asleep.
I would stay awake because it looked like you were going to drop him out of the bed because you would fall asleep. And so I stayed awake for 3 straight days. Mm-hmm. I lost my mind. But, I mean, everybody does it. It's not like I'm special in that regard. It was cool. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I was just in a lot of pain and just so tired. I mean, like you said, I fell asleep every time I was breastfeeding him. I fell asleep in between contractions, and I don't know how you do that. You have 3 to 4 minutes.
You're like you're pushing, or you're just like dealing with the pain, and then you're just exhausted.
Yeah.
You would do it all over again, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you will do it all over again.
I will do it all over again.
3 more times.
No.
4 more times.
No.
2 more times.
Max.
So what are some takeaways?
I would say have a birth plan, but don't think that your birth is going to be
That's
exact.
good. Yeah.
I would say have a loose idea of how you want everything to go.
And if you can do it that way, great, but just be flexible.
My doctor asked if I had a birth plan, and I said, kind of. Like, there were certain things I wanted and certain things I didn't want, but I didn't have, like, a full-on, like, PowerPoint presentation with, like, all these bullet points that I needed to hit. The ultimate goal is just to get the baby out as healthy and safe as possible.
And she was like, good. Yeah. As the doctor, she's like, okay, good, because it's probably not going to happen anywhere near your plan. So.
And if it doesn't happen the way that you want it to, you're probably going to be disappointed.
Just roll with it.
Just roll with it.
Just be flexible. Enjoy it.
People have been having babies for centuries.
Centuries? More than centuries.
More than centuries. I mean, centuries. I could say years.
But that's our birth story. That's our, pretty semi-concise, sort of detailed.
I mean, we're trying to condense 5 weeks into...
I know.
I don't know how long this video is, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But we're just hoping that this helps out any of you out there that are about to have a baby, that are thinking about having a baby, that have had one, and you're like, your birth was not the way that you thought it was supposed to be, or you just think that you had this crazy experience. We too had a crazy experience. Obviously, it's not the craziest, but after the pregnancy that we had, it was not the way we thought our birth was going to go.
Yeah.
All that matters is that we have a happy, healthy, not even a baby anymore.
No, toddler.
Wow.
So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Like, comment, subscribe, share it. Hit the bell. I'm a big fan of the bell. All right, hit that bell.
Big fan of the bell.
If you're returning, we love to see it. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching our videos, and keep commenting too. We really like to see those, see the comments, see where you're watching from.
We'd love to hear little snippets of your birth story.
Yeah, it's fun to interact with you guys.
Yeah.
So thanks again.
We'll see ya in the next one.
#blessed. What is that? That's not a jump shot. Dude, that's a cobra.
Jumping over the fence.
All right, bye.